What if you already had everything you needed to start making an AI film, but the only thing missing was the order of steps? What if the real reason AI filmmaking feels confusing isn't the tools or the prompts, but simply not knowing what comes first and what comes next? That's exactly what I want to talk about in this tutorial. In this course-style video, I'm going to walk you step by step through the actual pipeline of AI filmmaking. This is not a tutorial about prompting tricks, and it's not about chasing tools. It's about the production process. The same logical flow you follow whether you're making a realistic or hyper-realistic AI movie, a short film, or even an animated AI film. Regardless of the style, this pipeline stays the same. The reason I'm making this video is simple. I've received tons of questions from beginners and even intermediate AI filmmakers who are stuck. They don't know which step to follow next. They are confused about how image generation connects to video, how scenes connect to shots, and how everything becomes a finished AI film. So this tutorial is designed to clearly explain the process from start to finish.
Why did we let it end like that?
We didn't. We just couldn't.
When we talk about AI filmmaking, we're really talking about a pipeline. Basically, a pipeline is a step-by-step production flow where each stage prepares the next one. If you skip steps or do them out of order, things fall apart later. But if you follow the pipeline correctly, everything connects smoothly. So let's start from the very beginning. The first and most important step in how to make AI film or how to make AI movie is ideation. This is the foundation of everything. Without an idea, nothing else matters. No amount of AI production can fix a weak or unclear idea. An idea can come from several places. It can come from movies you've already seen. It can come from real-life situations. It can come from AI like ChatGPT. And it can also come from pure inspiration. Basically, these are the sources you can draw from when you're starting out. At its core, ideation means you have a simple story, not a full script, not dialogue, just a clear concept that captures what your AI film is about. This idea becomes the anchor for every decision you make later in the production process. If your goal is to become an AI film producer, this is where it starts. The idea is the bedrock. Everything else in the pipeline depends on it. That's why idea generation is the first step in AI filmmaking. Now, one way to generate ideas is by using AI itself. Basically, you can prompt AI to act like an award-winning film writer and ask it to generate multiple AI film ideas. You can specify whether you want short films or long-form projects. You can also include the genre like romance, action, or rom-com, depending on what kind of AI video you want to produce. When you do this, the goal is not randomness. You want each idea to have a compelling hook, a clear emotional angle, and strong visual potential. This is important because AI filmmaking relies heavily on visuals. So from the beginning, your idea needs to work visually. For example, if you ask for AI film ideas suitable for AI video generation, you're basically telling the AI to think in terms of scenes, moments, and cinematic possibilities, not just abstract storytelling. This keeps your idea grounded in production reality. Once you do this, you don't stop at one idea. You generate several ideas and choose the one that feels strongest. The idea should clearly communicate what the story is about in just a few lines. Let's say you already have an idea like the one I worked on before, called Excess on the Run. The hook is simple and clear. Two diverse spies are unknowingly assigned to kill each other. That single sentence already sets up conflicts. Then there's the emotional angle, rekindled love versus unresolved betrayal. And finally, the visual potential, things like split screen combat, mirror fight choreography, and intimate moments in hideouts. This is what strong ideation looks like. The idea already tells you what kind of scenes you'll be generating later. It already guides the tone and the visuals. So when you move into the next steps of AI filmmaking, the AI knows what it's working toward. So to be clear, the first step in this pipeline is idea generation. You don't rush it, you don't skip it, you lock it down. Once you have a solid idea, everything else becomes easier. In the next part, I'm going to explain what comes immediately after ideation and why jumping straight into script writing is actually a mistake if you want to work like a professional AI film producer. Now that you have your idea locked in, this is where most people make a mistake. They jump straight into script writing. But if you really want to understand AI filmmaking as a production process, there's a step that comes before the script, and that step is plot generation. Basically, a plot is the structured version of your idea. Your idea is the seed, but the plot is the shape it grows into. The plot defines how the story starts, how it develops, and how it ends or pauses on a cliffhanger. Without this structure, your script will feel scattered and your AI video production will become messy. So the second step in the AI filmmaking pipeline is plot generation. This is where you take your original idea and expand it into a clear story flow. You're not writing dialogue yet. You're defining what happens and in what order. You can use AI to generate your plot, and the process is very straightforward. Basically, you copy your original concept and tell the AI to generate a plot structure suitable for AI filmmaking. When you do this, you're asking the AI to organize your idea into something that can be broken into scenes later. A common and effective structure is using acts. Act 1 is the setup. This is where you introduce the world, the characters, and the core situation. Act 2 is the conflict and escalation. This is where tension rises and things get complicated. Act 3 is the resolution or the cliffhanger, depending on whether you're making a complete short film or a series. This structure matters because AI filmmaking relies on clarity. Each act naturally turns into scenes, and each scene later turns into shots. So the plot is the bridge between your idea and your actual production work. When you generate your plot, you should make sure it aligns perfectly with your original idea. Nothing new should be introduced. You're simply expanding what already exists. The plot should clearly reflect the emotional angle and visual potential you defined during ideation. Once your plot is done, you now have a roadmap. You know what happens first, what happens next, and what the key moments are. This makes every step after this easier and more consistent. Now that the plot is complete, the next step in the pipeline is something that many beginners underestimate, but is one of the most critical parts of professional AI film production. This step is building your character Bible. Basically, a character Bible is a detailed identity profile for each character in your AI film. This includes your main characters, your supporting characters, and even extras if they appear repeatedly. The reason this matters is consistency. I will only stay consistent if you tell it exactly who a character is. For each character, the character Bible includes their name, age, gender, and ethnicity or skin tone. It also includes facial features, hairstyle, body type, and typical clothing style. Beyond appearance, it includes personality traits, emotional flaws, body language, and speech style. This information is not random. Every detail helps the AI understand how the character should look and behave across scenes. Basically, the character Bible becomes the single source of truth for that character throughout the entire AI filmmaking process. Once you've created character Bibles for all your characters, you now have complete identities. At this point, you're ready to move into visual generation. This is where image generation comes into the pipeline. Using your character Bible, you can go into an image generation tool like Nano Banana Pro, which I use through gemini.google.com. The goal here is to generate ultra photorealistic cinematic character reference images. You take the full character description and paste it into the image generator. Then you specify that the output should look indistinguishable from real photography. You want natural skin texture with pores and imperfections, realistic lighting and shadows, and cinematic depth of field. This avoids plastic looking or artificial results. You can also specify camera details like lens type and shadow depth. And most importantly, you clearly state the style. You want stills from movies, not animation, not CGI, and not AI artifacts. This keeps the visual style grounded and cinematic. You repeat this process for each character until you have clean, consistent reference images. These images are extremely important because you reuse them throughout the rest of the production pipeline. After generating these images, you organize them properly. You create a main project folder and inside it, a character folder. Each character gets their own subfolder with their reference images saved clearly. This folder structure helps you stay organized and consistent as the project grows. Now that your characters are fully defined and visually consistent, the next step in the AI filmmaking pipeline is script writing. This is where your story finally becomes something that can be produced as a video. Basically, a script is the written blueprint of your AI film. It tells you what happens in each scene, where it happens, who is present, and what is said or done. Without a clear script, your production will feel directionless. When you're writing a script for AI filmmaking, you want it to be cinematic. That means you're not just writing dialogue, you're also writing scene details. These include the location, the time of day, the mood, and which characters are present in the scene. You can use AI to help generate these scripts by encoding a clear output structure. For example, you can ask for each scene to include a scene title, the location, the time, and the characters involved. Then you include the dialogue and the action description underneath. Basically, this structure makes the script readable and easy to break down later. This step matters because the script is what connects storytelling to production. Every line in the script will later turn into visuals, shots, and eventually video clips. Once the script is complete, you don't stop there. The next step is scene breakdown. This is one of the most important steps in how to make AI film properly. Basically, scene breakdown means taking each scene in your script and breaking it into smaller visual units. To understand this, you need to understand the hierarchy of filmmaking. At the highest level, you have a sequence. A sequence is a combination of multiple scenes that together tell a larger part of the story. Each sequence is made up of scenes, and each scene is made up of shots. A shot is the smallest visual unit. It's a single camera view. So when you break a scene down, you're deciding how many shots it contains and what each shot shows. A single scene might have 10 shots or 20 shots, depending on how complex it is. This breakdown is critical because AI video generation works shot by shot. Each shot is something you generate individually using image-to-video tools. So if your scene breakdown is weak, your final AI movie will feel disjointed. To do this, take a scene from your script and ask AI to convert it into a shot-by-shot breakdown with high realism and detail. Basically, this gives you camera angles, framing, and visual focus for each shot. From there, you have two main approaches. The first approach is to convert each shot into an image generation prompt. You take the shot description and use it in an image generator like Nano Banana to create a still image. Then you take that image and feed it into an image to video tool like VO3 to generate motion. To maintain consistency, you attach the same character reference images every time a character appears. This ensures that the character looks the same across all shots in that scene. The second approach is storyboarding, which is a more professional method. Instead of generating single images one by one, you generate a grid storyboard. This could be a 3x3 or 3x4 grid that shows multiple shots of the same scene at once. Basically, a storyboard helps maintain camera consistency and action continuity. You can clearly see how the scene flows from one shot to the next. This makes it easier to generate consistent video clips later. Once you've generated all your images, whether shot by shot or through storyboards, the next step is video generation. This is where still images become moving visuals. For each shot, you generate a video clip using an image to video tool. If dialogue is needed, you include it in the prompt. If it's a documentary style video, dialogue might not be necessary at all. It depends on the type of AI film you're making. One important detail here is sound. You should always tell the AI not to generate background music. You can allow natural effects like footsteps, punches, or shouting if needed, but background music should be handled later during editing. After generating all your video clips, you move into editing and final assembly. This is where everything comes together. You trim each clip, remove parts you don't need, and combine shots to form scenes. Then you combine scenes into sequences, and finally, all sequences together form your complete AI film. The last step is sound design. This includes adding background sounds, effects, and music. The sound should match the emotion of each scene. You can add different background music depending on the mood at that moment in the film. Once everything is in place, you export your video. And that's the full pipeline. That's how to make AI film. That's how to make AI movie. Not by guessing, not by rushing, but by following a clear, repeatable system. If you're a beginner, this pipeline gives you direction. If you're intermediate, it gives you structure. And if you want to improve your AI filmmaking production quality, this is the foundation you build on. This tutorial was created to help you understand the process, not just the output. Once you understand the process, creativity becomes easier. You're no longer stuck wondering what to do next. So take your time with this, rewatch it if you need to, apply it step by step. And as you practice, this pipeline will start to feel natural. That's it for this course style tutorial on AI filmmaking. See you on the next one. Lights out.